Welcome back, dildos.
Look at the dot on my friggin' face is driving me nuts. There should be a way to make that go away. My issues with cameras right now, I don't like it.
Could be on the next episode of What Chaps My Ass, who knows. But, yeah, we're back with a Raw review. Raw just ended a little while ago. And, for this occasion of the aftermath of Money in the Bank, picked up a crave case from White Castle. We went through 30 burgers.
We're close.
Close to 30. I went through 13.
I'm not sure how many I got.
He doesn't know how many he got through.
Yeah, I went through like 10 or 11. It was close.
The dog went through about 4.
Yeah, the dog got a good portion of them too.
The dog got about 4. Sam got 1.
Which is why the dog is now in the other room. Didn't stink him out.
She's feeling the itis right now. But, so...
We were pumped, man. We were ready for Raw.
To kick off Raw, we had Roman come out.
The big dog.
Make his announcement.
Roman needs Vince McMahon to say his name.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns. Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what he needs.
But he came out, made his announcement, interrupted by Samoa Joe.
His announcement, by the way, was that apparently he named himself #1 contender at SummerSlam.
Yep.
Now we just get superstars to do it, not actual officials anymore.
Yeah, now we just give the superstars calling the shots.
This is why we don't like Roman. This is why people don't like Roman. Because he just gets to walk out and say whatever he wants.
It's fucking hysterical.
I find it funny. I thought the whole segment was funny.
Yeah.
Roman comes out talking shit. I like the new Roman character.
It was cool. So then, leading into a match between him and Joe as the main event, which wasn't the actual main event. We'll get to that in a minute. Following that, what was it?
Following what?
Following the announcement and the matchmaking for...
Oh, well, they had their little scuffle or whatever.
Oh, yeah, they ended up getting into a fight, and then, shit happens, moves on to the next segment.
It was the Hardy Boys, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It was the Hardys against...
You know what? Put the MC mic down. I'll take over. Here we go. It was the Hardys against the club, and...
of course.
It was another...
Club gets
jobber for the club, unfortunately.
Yep.
Send them over to SmackDown already, please.
They need it. They desperately need it.
Because right now on Raw, they're just drowning.
They really are.
They're being forgotten. Yeah, people don't even remember that they were the tag champs heading into WrestleMania. They were the Raw tag team champs going into that match.
Yep.
And they've been completely forgotten about at this point.
They really have.
It's all about Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardys. And now you got the Revival coming back.
Yeah.
So what are the friggin' odds that, the club's going to make their way back into this picture anytime soon? No, in fact, what'll probably wind up happening is they'll probably wind up jobbing to the friggin' Revival soon.
Yeah.
To get the Revival put into the main picture.
Yep.
So
that's exactly what I see. It's fucked up because the club deserves a lot more than what they're getting. They are both very, very talented guys. Anderson can move. Gallows can put on great matches.
Nerd.
Yeah, exactly. They should be getting more than what they're getting right now. I honestly thought for maybe 1 second, maybe the club would win tonight. No. Maybe next time, boys. Who knows?
Yeah, and then it was Elias Sampson.
Oh yeah, Elias Sampson is in the ring playing his little guitar.
Well, he was starting to. He never really got to.
He was starting to, and then he's like, please allow me to tune my guitar. Crowd starts booing. Starts tuning his guitar. I need silence while I tune my guitar. Hey, I'll sit here all night. I don't mind.
He probably fucking would have too.
And he's sitting there, cue Balor's music. Balor comes out, gets in the ring, does the whole
Sampson leaves the
thing.
ring.
They just have an epic stare down for like 24 seconds.
Sampson leaves.
And it's
Balor.
It would have been funny as fuck if when Balor was doing the whole thing on the turnbuckle, if Elias just ran up and hit him with the guitar in the midst of all
That would have been a great Raw moment.
That would have been funny and
it would have been a statement for that kid too, man. It would have.
It's like, who the fuck are you? I'm Elias Sampson.
It would have been an "I'm here" statement. Like,
exactly.
You're not going to take my spotlight.
Exactly.
Get the hell out of the ring.
It would have been funny, but like an oh shit at the same time.
And wound up being Finn Balor versus Bo Dallas, who we didn't even know was still on the main roster.
Who I really didn't think was still there. I thought he got fired or something.
But apparently they haven't stopped Bo leaving yet.
And that's just still his thing. The whole Bo leave thing is still going on.
Bo came out, the new Bo, ultra aggressive.
Bo, it was like typically any other jobber match. The jobber has the upper hand in like the first 2 minutes of the match, and then after that, the guy who everyone is actually here to see starts kicking ass 6 ways from Sunday.
Which is sad because these are both former NXT champions.
They are.
I believe Bo Dallas is still the longest reigning NXT champion.
He's the longest reigning. Joe made history being the second ever. Like the first ever 2-time NXT champion.
But Bo was the longest reigning, wasn't he?
Bo, I believe, was the longest reigning.
And here he is now, jobbing.
To everyone.
And we'll get to how bad his night actually got in a minute.
Hashtag social outcasts.
Yeah, we'll get to how bad his night actually got in a minute. So Balor gets the win, of course.
Yeah.
If you thought Bo Dallas was going to win this match, you were out of your friggin' marbles.
In fact, we're sitting here and the commercial comes back and we hear some weird music in the background. I'm like, it's not Balor's music. We look in the ring and we see, and we're both like, what? Like,
Bo
why?
Dallas still exists. Wow. Good for you, Bo. Who knew you were still out there? I didn't.
You look a lot like Bray Wyatt these days.
Yeah.
You really do.
Then it was Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins time. Rollins came out to talk about, the reveal that he's going to be on the cover of WWE 2K18. They showed the commercial, which has nothing to do with the game. Mm-hmm. But it was still a cool commercial. I liked the concept,
It was great.
Be like no one, be like yourself, kind of thing.
And he was giving that advice to everybody in the crowd until Bray Wyatt's creepy little freaking cinematic entrance thing.
Now, I'm going to tell you why this was all wrong. All wrong. First of all, I don't have a problem with Bray interrupting. I love Bray Wyatt. Seeing Bray Wyatt makes me happy. I know I'm going to get a Bray Wyatt promo, which is always fun, right? So you get Bray's little promo, right? And you get Seth's response about, gods are in our head, and in my world you're nothing. And Bray says you made a mistake because now I'm here. Blows the thing out. Now here's where this all goes wrong, folks.
Yep.
Bray Wyatt, to me, has the aura of circa 1990 Undertaker.
Yes, it does.
Okay? Where Taker would appear on the Titantron, you talk shit to Taker, lights went out, Taker was behind you.
But no, that didn't happen.
No, lights went out,
he blew out
Bray's music came on.
He blew out the lantern, Bray's music came on,
and
Bray
he
walked down to the ring.
And Seth jumps off the top rope, takes out Bray Wyatt. This is where they're going totally wrong with the Bray Wyatt
And if you thought that there was going to be a, small fight between the two afterwards, there wasn't. They just kind of Rollins kind of looked at Bray. Bray kind of leaned up against the ring.
I'm thinking there was a botch, to be honest with you. Because Bray's mouth was busted open.
And Rollins' cheek was gashed.
I don't know if it was the gash or if that was Bray's blood squirting across Seth. But
it looked too clean, in a straight line and dripping down to be.
It could have been a gash, and Bray was definitely gushing blood out his mouth.
Yeah.
So there could have been a botch here.
It could have been.
Where both guys got hurt, and instead of continuing with the promo or with the fight, they both just kind of decided.
Because also, Bray laid there a little too long.
Yeah, and then there was nothing that followed that either.
No.
Bray wasn't in the match.
No.
Seth wasn't in the match.
Nope.
It was just this little thing. So I think there was supposed to be more, and maybe they mistimed Seth's landing.
Because if you look at it, if you go back and rewatch it, as soon as Seth jumped and landed, Bray was sitting there for a good, like, few minutes, longer than any man really should, if they're gonna, like, come back and do, like, this whole quick little, like, brawl thing. And then when he leaned up against the ring, he was laughing. Cue Rollins on the rampway
with the gash on his face.
With the gash on his face and blood dripping down.
Blood out.
And yeah, I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh shit.
I think they screwed up a little bit on this one.
Something might have happened. Don't know.
Which will happen with guys like this because they're both real big on selling things.
Yes.
They want things to look as real as possible. So Seth is going to jump and not throw his arms out to stop himself from hitting Bray.
Yeah.
And Bray's going to throw his arms up at the very last second to try and stop Seth from hitting him full on.
Yep.
To try and make it look as real as possible. So you're going to get moments like that. And I'm okay with all that. It's just, I don't like the ending of Bray just laying there. Mm-hmm. It makes Bray Wyatt not look all that strong.
Yeah.
And right now, they should be building Bray as like an unstoppable force of nature.
They should.
As a guy who only the best of the best beat. And let me get this here straight real quick. I don't have a problem with Bray losing a match to Seth. I have a problem with Bray being punked and left laying there on the ground. That's what I have a problem with. If he lost a straight-up match to Seth, listen, Rollins could be in the title picture tomorrow, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. But to just lay there like a little bitch bothers me. That's Bray Wyatt. That's not, Bo Dallas. Well, I've been okay with him laying there. But hey, whatever. This is why I'm not a writer for WWE. Because, their world would be a lot different right now. Way different.
Be a lot better.
So, Rollins and Bray, and then it was it Roman and Joe next? Because that happened.
No, it was the Cruiserweight match.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It was Akira Tozawa versus
and then it was Roman
TJP.
and Joe.
Yep.
Yep, and this was the whole Titus brand thing.
Yep, fucking Titus O'Neil comes out after their names have already been announced, gets in the ring, re-announces their names.
Acting like Tozawa's hype man, basically.
Basically, basically it's Tozawa's hype man. Match starts, it cuts to commercial, comes back, gets about maybe 5 minutes into the match, Neville's music cues. Neville comes out, walks over to the announce table, grabs the headset, and goes, I'm not here to sit down and commentate on this match. I'm here to watch Akira Tozawa because I am the king of the cruiserweights.
You don't do it right.
Or you do it good.
The king of the cruiserweights. You have to sound more leprechaun.
And then the whole time, come back from commercial, he's sitting there like this, watching the match away from the commentary table.
So basically, the match goes on. And, TJP and Tozawa are two very good in-ring workers, regardless of what you think of TJP's gimmick. In that ring, he's actually really good.
Yeah.
And they put on a good match for a minute there.
It was decent.
And then Tozawa hit one hell of a finisher, man. He got some height on that thing.
He really did.
It was a senton bomb, but it was kind of weird. He didn't flip forward. He didn't do any of that stuff. He just jumped straight up in the air, off the top rope, and just keyed backwards ever so slightly and landed. But the height he got was ridiculous. Like, I love this dude more and more every time I see his little ass.
Ha!
I want to put him in a little cage I got over there and keep him, because he's awesome.
So then, after the match, Titus starts...
Tozawa got the win, by the way.
Tozawa got the win. Titus starts hyping up Tozawa. Meanwhile, Tozawa's standing there with the look on his face, like, all confused. Like, I highly doubt he even knows what Titus is saying.
I will now step in, because now Neville grabbed the mic.
There we go.
And he said, Titus, you peasant, stop talking. And you, Tozawa, told you, tread lightly, because you don't want any part of the king of the cruiserweights. And then Titus responded with saying, you don't want none of the power of Tozawa.
And then start going, ha, 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 as the crowd started going with it.
And that was the end of that.
Then we get to Roman and Joe.
Which was supposed to be the main event, but it happened at 9:45
Yeah, it really did.
for some reason. Not really sure why. And,
no, wait, I'm sorry. We got a Goldust promo.
Oh, yeah, Goldust promo first, and then it was...
Goldust promo. Then, Goldust is coming next week to fight R-Truth.
Oh, no, he's coming next week to put on a movie.
To put on a movie about R-Truth or some shit.
Yes.
So this is going to be the promos for the two of them leading up to Great Balls of Fire, because I can guarantee it's probably going to be a free show.
Yeah, probably. I don't see it being anywhere near the main show.
So then we move into Roman versus Joe, which the beginning of the match was really slow paced. Both of them spent a lot of time outside the ring.
But it picked up.
And
it turned into what, and people are going to hate me for fucking saying this, I know it. It turned into what every Roman Reigns match turns into. And that's a hell of a damn match. Always. I'm sorry, I dare you. Go back and look at Roman's last 10 matches and come back to me and say he was terrible in this match. I challenge you.
I was the biggest Roman Reigns hater. Period. He's starting to grow on me.
Listen,
a lot.
All the man does is put on good matches, and now he's cutting good promos.
Yeah.
How can you not like this?
But then the match goes on. It's awesome.
And then I heard it.
I heard it. We heard it.
I heard the boop, boop. And I said,
and honestly,
that's an ambulance.
And honestly, when that happened, I started looking around. I'm like, is my car okay?
I said, nope, that's an ambulance. It's Braun.
The ambulance backs up. Doors burst open.
And
the crowd goes nuts. Crowd goes insane. Braun looks like he lost some weight.
Yeah, he looked a little bit smaller
than normal. He looked a little bit smaller than normal.
That's
but
okay, though.
Good for him. He still looks good.
And then Joe locked in the Coquina clutch, or a rear naked choke in the rail wall.
Yeah.
On Roman, who was obviously distracted because he just saw
Braun
on the big screen.
Made him pass out.
Joe gets the win. Roman's laying there dead in the ring. And Braun's music kicks on, and I'm going,
here we go.
This just got interesting.
Braun gets in the ring, grabs the mic, and goes, you know, Roman, there's one thing you forgot. That I'm not finished with you.
Snatches him up.
Picks him up in the air and fucking slams him.
Doesn't do a normal choke slam. No, that would be too good for Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
He lifts him straight up, lets roll the backside, and brings him down face first with the choke slam.
Setting up a match
and says, if you're man enough, I'll see you at Great Balls of Fire.
In an ambulance match. And I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be awesome.
They come back from commercial, and Roman accepted, of course.
Of course he did.
And
now
we're going to have that at Great Balls of Fire. Great Balls of Fire is actually
building up to be pretty good.
Building up to be a pretty interesting night, although it's got a terrible name.
So now we got an R-Truth movie promo on Goldust.
Yeah.
And setting up for that whole spiel.
What's up promotions?
Yeah. Meanwhile,
you can't make this shit up.
Meanwhile, after that, you got Kurt Angle going to the back over to the Revival and to Big Show, which seems to be like talking,
promising Enzo and Cass
that they're going to find the people that have been attacking them from behind. So then we move into the women's match.
No.
Or was the tag match?
No, sir. It was the tag match.
The tag match. Titus Brand
versus the Titus Brand.
Yeah.
And this was a joke.
Yeah, it lasted all of 5 minutes.
Cesaro and Sheamus get the win.
Yep.
And it's just, setting them up for the matchup with the Hardys down the road.
That's it.
At Great Balls of Fire.
You saw the Hardys watching from backstage.
Which, my ultimate hope for this is, Cesaro and Sheamus beat the Hardys again, the nostalgia kick is over, and we get the broken gimmick finally.
Finally.
That's my hope for all this.
So...
Oh, something else real quick, little, Easter egg kind of thing.
Yeah.
We saw Devon Dudley tonight.
Yeah.
We saw Devon.
Oh, yeah, that,
Balor was in the back doing an interview about Joe and about the Joe and Reigns match, which we're skipping backwards now.
Yeah.
But Balor was doing an interview about those two guys fighting, and Elias Sampson kicked the shit out of him. So now we're going to get relegated to knowing that Finn Balor has been thrown to the mid-card.
Yep.
And he's fighting a guy who doesn't matter.
So then we fast forward to the Miz.
Most depressing part of my night.
Yeah, it really was. Elias Sampson attacks him and goes, "Don't you ever upstage me
If they were
again."
going to do that, they should have just done the freaking guitar thing.
They really should have. That would have been a lot better. And set up a hell of a feud. But I guess it would completely defeat the purpose of what happened next. In the back, you see Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Yes, Curtis Axel is also still there. Talking.
Yeah, this
to
was
each other.
This was the last thing that happened before we went to.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
The Miz comes in and says, "You guys are nothing. Join me in my entourage, and I can make you guys stars, bigger than you ever were before." Bo, on the set of the Marine 5, where is that Bo Dallas? You were punching people's teeth in, and now you're all happy, positive.
Calling Axel the Axeman.
Yeah, and Axel threatened him.
So the Miz comes out from Miz TV, which is a big apology to his wife. And as soon as I saw...
Has a giant present, 2 bears this time.
As soon as I saw the whole stage setup, I said, "Oh God, Dean Ambrose is going to do something."
This is going to be an epic Dean Ambrose moment. We got to watch.
The Miz is apologizing. He fixed the grandfather clock. And then, as he's about to kiss his wife, Ambrose's music cues up. Out comes Dean. He jumps in the ring. He goes to step towards the Miz. And the Miz pulls Maurice in the way, who throws her champagne all over herself. Miz tries to say sorry. Maurice kind of girl slaps him. And as the Miz turns around, Ambrose hits him, goes for dirty deeds. Miz gets out. Ambrose clotheslines him over the ropes. And you're thinking, okay, another great Ambrose segment. But there was a moment here that made me think and go, God, those two are sons of legends. That's sad. Because the teddy bears arrived. And the teddy bears were Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
And for those of you that don't know, yes, Curtis Axel is the son of Mr. Perfect and the grandson of the Axeman. What was it? Axel Henning, I think. Yeah. And then both Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas are the sons of the IRS.
Yeah, and here you are in teddy bear outfits.
And here you are in
jumping
teddy
Dean
bear
Ambrose.
outfits. They jump Dean Ambrose.
So,
pick
how's
him
your
up.
career going?
Pick
Things
him
are
up.
not good, I see.
Toss him to the Miz. Miz hits a skull-crushing finale on Ambrose. And that ends that whole segment. They got the entourage now. We're going to see how this plays out.
Next, they hyped up Brock and Joe.
Yep, again.
Whole little segment about how we got to this point.
Yep.
I don't need to be hyped up anymore. I'm in.
It was basically a Samoa Joe, this is your life.
I don't need to be hyped up anymore. I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I mean, we could have these two fight in the backyard, and I'm in.
So then we had a women's match. It was initially Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax.
Alexa came out.
Out comes Alexa to sit at the commentary table.
And then all hell broke loose.
Yeah, all hell broke loose. It cut to commercial, comes back from commercial, and there we are in the ring with everyone beating the shit out of Sasha.
I'm not sure how we got there.
And then out of the corner, that's not by the entrance, like from over in the crowd area, Mickie James runs in. And then Emma runs in. And then out of nowhere, Dana Brooke is beating the shit out of fucking Alexa Bliss. Bayley charges down.
Ugh.
Knew he was going to say that.
Ugh.
Bayley charges that down.
I was having such a good night, too.
Gets a lot of momentum going.
No, she didn't get hit in the face with a steel chair.
No, she didn't.
She didn't get her friggin' brain scrambled by a sledgehammer.
She bulldogged Nia Jax off the fucking top rope.
She hit a knee on somebody, and
then it
her
ended,
ponytail was to the side.
And then it ended.
Nobody cut her.
Yeah.
Nobody punched her in the mouth. Nope, Bayley's the hero, empties the ring. Woohoo!
Yep. Faces in the
Bayley
ring.
to Bayley!
Faces in the ring, heels all scattered all over the outside.
Ugh.
But now we bring us to the real main event.
I'm sorry, hold on.
Composure.
Ugh.
Composure.
Oh, God. I hate that girl so much. If I ever saw her at a live event, I'd throw something at her. And I wouldn't care if I got thrown out.
It'd be worth it.
Yep, every second of it.
So now we come to the real main event.
Yeah. It was time.
Who jumped Enzo and Cass?
Yes. All right, so here we go. This is it, right? Kurt comes out. Enzo and Cass come out. They do their little stick, right? I am Enzo Amore, certified G, all that good stuff. Hope you enjoyed seeing that.
Because you're never going to see it again.
Shh, I didn't want to say all that just yet, right? So then Kurt says, we need the suspects out here. So he brings out the Revival. He brings out the Big Show. He accuses Big Show. Big Show gets all mad. Kurt, you know me better than this, but
maybe
if I was going to punch you in the mouth, I'd do it and say it to your face. And maybe I don't need to be on your show no more. And he leaves. Nobody cares. Then he accuses the Revival.
And then Cass is sitting there like, Kurt, that explains it all.
They said I had a baseball in the back of my head. Yeah. Right? So then he accuses the Revival.
Yep.
And the Revival says, okay, we've been through this, and Kurt's like, you're right. According to referees and this and that and the third, it was not the Revival. And he turns to Enzo and Cass and goes, I swear to you guys, I will get to the bottom of this. And then Corey stands up from commentary.
Out of all people, Corey Graves
stands up and says, Kurt, I might be able to shed some light on this. And he says, Big Cass, you said that when you got examined by WWE medical officials, that you had a lump the size of a baseball in the back of your head. And Cass is shaking his head going, yeah, that's right. Corey says, well, I just talked to some of the guys and they said they never examined you. Cass goes, okay, so it was the EMTs, same thing. Corey says, well, it's funny, I called the EMTs too. And they said they never examined you either. He goes, so I did some digging and I found a security tape. And he shows the tape and it shows Big Cass liaring himself. For those of you who have seen the Jim Carrey movie. Staging an area, making it look like he got the crap kicked out of himself. And Corey says, you and I both know, Big Cass, you never got hit, and it was actually you who attacked Enzo.
Enzo turns around.
And Cass says, I did it! It was me, Enzo. I was the one who kicked you and hit you.
Not exactly like that, but we know the man can't talk. So then he goes into the spiel about how he should have been on top the entire time. Enzo was dead weight. He was holding him back from being a champion.
Not exactly a lie either.
He ran. Every time he opens his mouth, he gets himself into trouble. He even brought up the fact that Enzo fucking opened his mouth to Conor McGregor through Twitter, saying a bunch of shit.
Which is funny.
Which is fucking hysterical, but bad for Enzo.
No, it's not. It's all good. Because, what's Conor going to do? Yeah. Conor can't beat up Enzo. He'll be persecuted for it. Enzo's like,
So, throughout this whole thing...
the furry little cousin you don't admit to.
So then, throughout all that, Enzo starts tearing up.
Real tears.
Real tears. And I'm sitting there like, fuck, this is actually kind of intense.
This is getting a little bit depressing, actually.
Yeah. So then, Enzo, Big Cass grabs the mic and goes, get used to this, because Enzo, we're through. Drops the mic, waits about 5 seconds, hits Enzo with a big boot, and stands over him and goes, and you can't teach that.
And leaves. And now it leaves us wondering, where do we go?
Yeah.
Are we going towards an Enzo and Cass match?
I'm pretty sure that's where it's leading.
I don't really know how that works all that well, though.
I mean, it could work, it's been done with former tag teams.
Yeah, but Enzo is so much out of Cass's league.
Yeah.
That this is a rough one. And they portrayed Enzo as the little guy who can't hang with the big guys over and over and over. So how do you build this one?
I don't know.
Here's what I actually see coming. I think next week on Raw, we'll get an Enzo and Cass matchup. Mm-hmm. And I think Enzo's going to be getting the hell kicked out of him. And then the Big Show's music is going to cue up. And he's going to come running out to save Enzo, even though, he's a little upset at the situation right now. But he does seem to like Enzo. And what's going to happen is that this is actually going to lead to Great Balls of Fire, where we get Big Show versus Cass.
Yeah.
And Cass's first major win on a pay-per-view as a solo wrestler.
Yeah.
over a guy like Big Show, which makes him look really good.
Yeah.
Because we already know Vince is huge on Big Cass. It's been out for a long time now that Vince is really big on Cass as a solo guy.
Yep.
The question is, what happens to the beloved Enzo Amore from here? Because obviously a singles run is just not going to go well for him.
He's either going to be on 205 doing commentary, because we all know he can talk. Mid-card title push, maybe. Or
Yeah.
jobber.
Enzo's going to have to get a lot better in the ring for him to be a mid-card push.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Yeah.
Although, we don't really know how good Enzo is.
As a singles competitor.
Because they've always wanted to play it as Enzo doesn't really know what he's doing, he's the mouthpiece,
Yeah.
Cass is the one who puts in work.
Yeah.
They've always wanted to portray that.
Yep.
But I find it hard to believe that Enzo has gotten all the way to the WWE and doesn't know how to wrestle.
Exactly.
That's a little hard to buy, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe, who knows, this could be the best thing that ever happened to Enzo.
Could be.
Personally, I'm a little bit upset, I'm not going to lie. Because I really liked Enzo and Cass as a tag team. Their gimmick definitely worked.
Mm-hmm.
Enzo on the mic is fantastic.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it's going to be the end of Enzo, in my opinion, is what I think. I think we are definitely heading down a road where Enzo becomes a lot like Taz was
Yeah.
in his later years in WWE.
Yeah.
On the commentary table, doing interviews, stuff like that. And it'll just be depressing.
Yeah.
And
Who knows? We'll have to wait till next week to find out.
we'll have to wait for a while to find out
Yeah.
because, you know, they're going to build this up and keep it going for a while. Yeah, they've already kept it going 4 damn weeks. But yeah, that was Raw.
This has been another episode of Inside the Ropes. Catch you later.
Bye.